Use code 8thPlaceDave to save 5% on your order at Face to Face Games, Canada's largest Magic the Gathering store, where qualified orders receive free shipping Canada-wide. Support the channel and visit facetofacegames.com today. So I've got another random buy here. This is a lot of cards that I bought locally from Facebook Marketplace. This lot cost 100 Canadian dollars, so that's about 70-ish US dollars. This one seems like it could be pretty cool to me. So uh, basically what I saw was this picture. It's kind of hard to see, but one of these boxes full of approximately 4,000-ish cards. The person said that it's all old bulk stuff, and they'd gone through it quickly and taken out all the valuable things. They said they did a quick once over, but if it's old stuff and all I did was a quick once over, there could still be some pretty cool stuff in here. So I said, okay, I'd buy it. And then when we met up, though, it turned out that it's not just this. It's one of these boxes, but then also this box and this box. So in total, it looks like there's close to like 12,000 cards here. And it's all old stuff. The newest thing that I've seen is from like Urza's Destiny or something like that. And I quickly glanced through some of them, and I did find some cool stuff actually. So I found this, and I thought, I think this has some value. So I looked it up, and yeah, it is around $6. So that's cool. But then I looked inside, and there's not one, but there's 8 of this. So I'm hoping there could be some more cool stuff like that in here. There's a lot of cards here, though, so I'm not sure if this is all going to fit in one video or not. Might have to be made into 2 parts. But let's start looking through it, I guess. Just shift this stuff around. So I don't expect to find anything huge, but what I think we could find is more stuff like this. Random commons and uncommons that used to be worthless, but now have some value. We could potentially even find some reserve list stuff in here, maybe. I did see a couple cards that are from Legends. Once again, nothing huge, but pretty much anything from Legends is kind of cool to find. Maybe I can make this a little bit of a better view. Zoom out a bit. Something like this. Yeah. So let's start looking through this, I guess. So this looks like it's green, blue stuff. And one of the boxes, the large box off the screen there, some of the cards are quite damaged. It looks like there's some water damage there, and some of them are very moldy and stuck together. So I'll have to be careful with those ones, I guess. There's a striped pairs. It's kind of cool. Alright, so Ice Age, Brainstorm. Brainstorm, used to have value, but it's been printed a million times. It's not absolute bulk, it's just nothing huge, but whatever. It's worth separating. And something else that's cool about this is that I like to put together sets. So, like, for old sets, this is, like, basically everything, kind of. All the random commons and uncommons. Some things like this where it's an interesting effect. I'm not super familiar with this card, but this is one where it could just be this random common or uncommon that has value. So I'll take things like this out and I'll just check them after. Maybe it's worthless, but maybe it's something. An old school muscle sliver. That's kind of cool. There's probably a bunch of them here. There's a Marsh Viper from the Dark. There's probably a few of them. Take things like this out anyway, just because it's so old in the dark. There's a unhinged. I can never tell which one it is. Unhinged or unglued. Anyway, that's neat. Old school thin horn elves. That's pretty cool, actually. You know, not a whole lot of value, but it's not nothing. Like $1. So far, nothing huge, but we have a whole ton of old school thin horn elves. So there's that. Striped Bears is actually pretty playable in the Ayula deck. I play this in mine simply because it's a bear that draws a card when it comes into play. Is this a... It's hard to tell. Pretty sure this is an unlimited stream of life. It's kind of neat. Super beat up. Check this out. Summon Scavenger Folk. There's a Dark Ritual. Once again, not nothing. Kind of similar to like Brainstorm. Probably has more value than Brainstorm, to be honest. Old rampant growth here. So things like this, you know, they get printed all the time in Commander decks and stuff like that, but still, people like to play with the old school versions, so the old ones do tend to have a little bit of value. Especially if they're in good condition. These ones are in surprisingly decent condition, actually. Another random card from the dark, which is destroyed. Old school Wood Elves. It's playable. I'll probably take out the Wood Elves. It's another one where, you know, it's playable, so people tend to like using the old versions of the cards, so it can have some value for that reason. Same with like Wall of Roots. Some pretty off-center War Mammoth there. Okay, so here's something pretty decent, actually. Crop Rotation. This was reprinted in Double Masters 1, but it's actually regained a fair bit of its value. There might be a whole bunch of these in here, seeing as it's common. Yep. That's quite a few. Some more from there. I don't know what it's at right now. Maybe more than $1 each for sure. What was in that stack? $13 crop rotations. Okay, here's the Aurochs that people kept pointing out on my video at the safari. Yeah, there are bison on there. Now I know. Yeah, Hydroblast. So we got some more crop rotations here. I mean, yeah, I'll take as many of those as we got. Good old chub toad. This is an old school diamond, which is kind of cool once again just because it's old, but we found a whole bunch more crop rotations. Interested to see how many the total is at once I'm finished with this box. Alright, so that's the end of this first box here. Once again, nothing huge, but we got so many crop rotations and just, you know, cool things like this where it's old school rampant growth, where, you know, it has value just because people like playing old cards. Let's take a look at the crop rotation count now. Imagine how many boxes must have been opened in order to get this many of any one given card. Okay. This many crop rotations. They all look like they're pretty decent. Not, you know, not all of them are near mint, but they're pretty good actually. $42 crop rotations. So even if this was $1, that'd be $42, which it's more than $1. I'll check, it might be like $1.52. But yeah, it's a lot of crop rotations there. So like this stuff, mostly the crop rotations plus these, basically paid for it already, I guess. We'll move on to this other box though. This is the one that has water damage on it on the one side, so I'm gonna wear a mask as I go through this one because I don't want to be dealing with mold and stuff. Some of those cards are just gonna be straight up garbage on the other side. Like, I'll give you a look here. Some of them are just like stuck together and moldy and not great. Start with the side that is not so damaged though. Still, some of these do have quite a bit of warping to them. and stuff like this. Yeah, it's too bad, but I'm not anticipating finding anything particularly valuable there. Stormcrow. There could be things like Snap. I imagine there could be a whole bunch of those in here, potentially. Years ago, I don't know how long ago, probably 7 or 8 years ago, I had bought a lot similar to this, old school, bunch of bulk things. It wasn't all bulk, though there was some actual rares and things in it, and I found something like 13 Ristic Studies in it, but at the time Ristic Study was worth like $5, so I ended up just like trading them away for at like a $3 value, or selling them and things like that. I don't expect to find any Ristic Studies in this. I don't think that there's even anything from that set in this collection. So some of these cards here are pretty decent shape, actually. Some more of these unset cards. We have a strategy guide from Stronghold. The basic deck. What happens when you cross a great game with Killer Comics? Pretty cool. Goblin Mutant. It's a lot of copies of some of these cards. Holy. Imagine if gaseous form was worth like $10 each. Would have like some money. We'd have tens of dollars. Old school Frantic Surge is kind of cool. Some more. Oh, I wonder if there's going to be a million of those in here. That would be neat. That's another one that has a little bit of value. Looks like it. So we're going to get 42 or whatever of those also. We might. It's a common from the same set. Look at that art. I don't know which side I should start from here. Maybe this one. Just want to see how many Frantic Searches there will be. I feel like the F's will be continued, because this seems to be alphabetized. So this will probably be, F's will be around here if there's more of them. Flock of Rabid Sheep. There's some cards in a penny sleeve here. It's a bunch of Manta Riders. Pretty nice looking island swamp there. Let me take those out. It's Cloud of Fairies any good? I don't remember. We'll check it. Counterspell. Cool. If we could find a whole bunch of counterspells, that card does have some value. This card is really good in a Goblin deck. I play this in my Grenzo deck. Pyroplast. Nice. Actually has some decent value. Oh, I got all the circle protection, everything. I'll show us a giant stack of counterspells. Out of fairies again. There's a few counterspells, 3 of them there. They're in 2 of them actually. No. Yeah, 2. They're not in great condition though. Clam I am. Blue Elemental Blast. Not as good as Red Elemental Blast. Still not nothing. Quite a few of them there. Ooh. So when we get to the red stuff, if there's going to be this many red blasts, that'll be sweet. So I'm not sure on Cloud of Fairies, but I really hope it's got some value anyway, because there's a bunch of them. A nice looking mountain again. It's not really near mint though. This actually isn't terrible in a Magda deck. Dwarf there. Lands would be nice if they were near mint, but they're not. And more blue blasts. Is this? Yes, I believe this one is unlimited. That's pretty sweet. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's unlimited, right? Because the thing here is centered in between the text box and the border, the illustration thing, and it has the double border going around here. That's cool. There's quite a few blue blasts. Yeah, so we have 4 different ones here. Let's do a lesson. Wait, are these the same? Yeah, I think these are the same. So we got, I suppose, unlimited, revised, and this would be 4th edition, I think. Once again, tell me if I'm right on that. Power Taint. If you're watching this random part of the video on TG Open Mic, that's for you. Do you want Ophidians? We got them. important. I remember this card. There was, what was it? When Sensei's Divining Top originally got banned in Legacy, I believe this card spiked up for just a brief period because people were looking to use this as a replacement. Didn't really work out so well. So after I finish this row of cards here, you see there's still a bunch more there, and also this other box. I might just recap what I have, and then probably end this video there, and do the rest in another part, because unless I speed up like pretty much everything, it's going to be a really long video. I'll just take one of these out to remind myself to check it. There's a bunch of them here. There could be some unlimited cards that I missed as I go through the white border ones super quickly like that. But with all these lots, I go through them multiple times, so I imagine I'll find them eventually. Okay, so I'm just going to take a closer look at some of these cards and lay out some of the cool stuff. Do a little recap, and then we'll do the rest of this collection in part 2. Alright, so we're back, and we'll take a quick look at some of the stuff that I pulled out and scanned up. So, scanned all of these things, and it came to a total of $271 US by TCG mid-pricing. That's also if this were to be in near mint condition. Not all of it is, but a surprisingly high amount of it is in pretty decent shape, actually. So we'll just go through some of it here. The biggest thing was these Culling the Week, which I found right off the start. So 8 of those. At, you know, 5-ish, maybe $6 each, something like that. Well, Dark Rituals. Another big part of it is the crop rotation. So there isn't any one huge thing in here, but there's a ton of small things that have value. So it was, what, 42 or 43 crop rotation is a couple bucks each there. That's pretty cool. Cloud of Fairies. This one actually did have value. I think there's 21 of these. It's like $1.50 each, something like that. A few Brainstorms, old school ones. Some counter spells. Hydroblast and a Pyroblast. And then there was the... I pulled out all those blue elemental blasts, but surprisingly they don't really have any value at all, really. Even this unlimited one is just like a couple dollars. But it's cool. There were two unlimited cards that I found anyway, so I'll take those out. A bunch of Frantic Searches, I think maybe 14 of these or something like that. A Gush, some old school Fyndhorn Elves, a bunch of those. A whole bunch of old school Rampant Growths. Some Rancors. And some, got these Muscle Slivers. They're pretty played though, so I didn't even bother scanning these Muscle Slivers. They have a bit of value, but they're not in very good condition. And a bunch of Wood Elves as well. So like I was saying throughout the video, like some of these things have been reprinted. There's newer versions of them which are quite cheap, but because these are the old versions of them, they do kind of have a premium in value. And what I would be looking to do with pretty much all of this stuff is just to buy list it. And I imagine, like, yes, it will take some work, but to buy list these, could probably still get, you know, close to, if I take store credit, close to like $200 or something like that. So it's cool anyway. And what I like about this is that it's not a giant stack of, you know, individual, like one of each card, because that would take forever to input to a buy list. But where it's things like 40-something copies of one card, that makes it a little bit easier and kind of more worth the time. Okay, so that's going to do it for this one. As you saw, I still have this to go through, and this. Maybe we'll be able to find some more cool stuff, so we'll put that in part 2. So keep an eye out for that if you're interested to see it. I'll try to put a link to it on the end screen of this one, and also put a link in the video description. But if you're still watching, thanks for watching. It would be cool if you can like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. I'd encourage everyone to come join my Discord server. You can find a link to that in the video description below. In the video description, you can also find my affiliate links for Dragon Shield. You can support the channel by following those links if you're interested in buying any products from Dragon Shield. And I'd also like to take a moment to thank all the patrons who support me on Patreon. But otherwise, though, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.